Dear friends, I would like to say a few words about Canada, Latvia, and NATO battle groups that you are about to join. A big thank you to all those who have prepared the way for the enhanced forward presence in Latvia. And thanks to all of you, you will be contributing to NATO's presence and visibility in our region. In June, 3 years have passed since Canadian-led troops were first deployed in Latvia. During NATO's deterrence exercise, my small northern European nation-state of Latvia celebrated 100 years of independence. What is Latvia? My personal answer is that Latvia is both an idea and a political reality. But historically, this has not always been the case at the same time. The last 100 years saw brutal invasions, oppression, and destruction from external powers, especially from some of our big neighbors. We persisted again and again. Defense and freedom have been closely connected in Latvia's turbulent history and are ever more important for all Europe since the Russian invasion of Crimea in 2014. And so, we warmly welcome Canada's contribution to global peace and stability. With Canadian deployment to Latvia and the ongoing presence in Ukraine, Canada is helping countries like my own to deal with the new threats and dangers aimed at the heart of Western values, rule of law and democracy. As embodiments of Canada, you bear these values within you, and you are the protectors of these values. You are the first line of defense of an international order that is a foundation for peace and stability. You are a NATO solidarity and reassurance in action. Truth and facts are often under threat these days. We are up against extremely well-funded, well-oiled, state-controlled media. This propaganda skillfully muddles the truth so much so that even well-educated people can become disoriented. In this regard, you will assess the reality not by reading about it, but by being there and seeing it firsthand. In this sense, you will become an antidote to disinformation. You will know what you saw with your own eyes. You will be in a position to study my country and help to get the story straight. This enhanced defensive presence, this deployment, benefits all our friends and allies across Europe. As a former historian, the lessons that I have learned from the past, such as Hitler-Stalin Pact in 1939 to carve up Europe, triggering the start of World War II, coupled with aggressive attempts to redraw European borders in recent years, remind me that we need to do all that we can to eliminate the temptation that some people may have to annex territory that does not belong to them. NATO's decision to deploy these battle groups came after Russia placed 3 new divisions in close proximity to NATO's eastern frontier. I have had the pleasure of meeting many diverse communities in Canada who feel a close connection to the countries around the Baltic Sea and Europe in general, through history, family roots, and friends. For these communities, Canada's support is extremely important. Through its leadership, Canada is highlighting that NATO's Article 5 really means all for one and one for all. Dear friends, Latvia is about to become your home away from home, and I hope that you feel most welcome. Latvians are proud of their own soldiers, and they will look upon you as honorary countrymen and women standing up for our land and nation. I give thanks from my heart, and I speak not just for myself, but for Latvians in Latvia and more than 20,000 Latvians that are living in Canada. Most of them came here seeking a safe haven in dark times of Soviet occupation. You are from a country that Latvians like, although they might not be able to tell you exactly why. They may also think that you drink maple syrup straight from the bottle. You will soon have the chance to clarify the reality to Latvians and tell them what it means to be a Canadian. But seriously, polls show that Latvians in Latvia see themselves as connected with Canada and drawn to it as a land of promise. And because they like it that Canadians are friendly, tough, but fair. And yes, there is an unmissable hockey connection. Latvia has made the connection stronger by investing in a secret weapon. We are importing coaches from Canada. Our World Championship team was coached by a Canadian, Bob Hartley from Hawkesbury, Ontario. Before Hartley, we had Chief Ted Nolan. We have seen that Canadian coaches give us an edge, and in 2014, Latvia came awfully close to beating Canada in the Olympics. Dear friends, you are going to Latvia at a good time. I know that you will be at your best, and please allow me to extend my warmest thanks to you and to your families for your contribution to Latvia, to Latvian-Canadian relations, and to the alliance. In July 2018, your Prime Minister, during his visit to Latvia, showed full commitment to continue the work we started together. We look forward to strengthening all of it. Together, we are united in our resolve to protect alliance territories and prevent conflict. To me, serving as Ambassador of Latvia to Canada and having had the honor to meet Canadians from every province and territory, it makes sense that this country, Canada, which sees diversity as a strength, has had so much success leading the most diverse of all NATO battlegroups. We welcome Canada's contribution to our Euro-Atlantic defense and are honored that Latvia is a host country for the Canadian-led NATO battlegroup. Canada is confirming that it is ready to stand up and fight for our common values in the face of those who seem uncertain about the distinctions between good and evil. It also demonstrates that Canada is ready to square off with those who, unfortunately, have not learned the lessons of history. More than ever, people around the world seek progress, prosperity, innovation, and peace, not the dark ages or geopolitics from a bygone era. We need a foundation of customary international law and rules-based order under our feet. We need to live by common sense and by the common values that guide the way by which we already live. Personally, I am happy to see Canada so prominently represented, particularly in Europe. Your presence and leadership in NATO and in the Baltic region is important and highly appreciated by all. In these times where we face multiple challenges, including a global pandemic, the situation is not easing, but requires permanent attention and monitoring. I think that it is truly important to look beyond the immediate horizon toward a better time, but it is just as important to face our realities. The life and the freedoms that we all enjoy were built and fought for by our families and friends. They are precious and we must not take them for granted. They require our constant vigilance and defense. Thank you for joining us and being with us in support of this independence that we all hold dear. This is independence for which a dear price was paid. Independence that should not be treated lightly or taken for granted. It is a good time to make a resolution to ourselves, to hold the line on our own personal principles, the value that we place on a rules-based order in which all countries, big and small, coexist, cooperate and thrive. We are honored to soon be hosting you with the many talents and energy that you're bringing with you. Have a safe trip. Thank you for your service.